so Elite Blastapopoulos is back on the menu, and this guy is a little bit of a menace. And actually, the normal one, believe it or not, is a bigger menace than this one. But let me walk you guys through the rules, and then we're gonna get this thing started. So here's what we're dealing with. So no farming hero available to start things off, and then there are no tag and bomb, which would be really nice, especially versus the tier 1. For the military ones, there's no mat for the tier 2, which is again very annoying. But the most important thing is the paragons that are available to us. So for example, we cannot use the wizard because it's magic, and Blastapopoulos is a purple balloon, no VTSG. The ninja paragon is not gonna work because, well, the sticky projectile burns off. You cannot use the sub and the buccaneer because there's no water space, and then the NG paragon doesn't work because 2 of the 3 sentries don't do any damage to it. On top of this, there is no tier 5 farms, which is kind of annoying. And then I mentioned that the normal one is a bigger menace than this one, and that's because on the normal one you cannot even use the dart in the boomer paragon. So yeah, this was made by an evil mastermind, but I guess we do have the dart in the boomer paragon for this one. The boss HP is at 70%, which is actually gonna come in really handy, I think, for the tier 1. And also, even though you cannot use water towers in this map, well, technically you can, because you can use the mer monkey, the top path mer monkey, the abyss, and then around it you can place a bunch of water towers. So that is exactly what we're gonna be doing for this one. Alright, so because there are no tier 5 farms, that means that we're gonna have to go a little bit harder on the farming in the early game. So we are actually gonna go for an NG trap, which you don't see me do that often, but yeah, we're gonna do it for this one. So let's have the NG like this, I think is the correct spot. And I actually tried this on sandbox, and I think if you buy the Miller crossbar, the largest service here, you're gonna have a village like this. And so with all that extra range, you should be able to deploy the trap right here in this intersection. I tried in the sandbox, hopefully it works in the actual game. So yeah, let me just get the farming started, and I'm gonna see you guys in a second. Actually, with the bigger radius, this is the most important question. Can we deploy the trap on the intersection? So let me just click this guy. I think we can, actually. Let me just try it, and yes, we can. That's amazing. All right, so this is really important for us to have this thing because this is obviously the best spot, this intersection. And before we actually go to the tier 1 boss, let me just kind of fix our farming a little bit. So let's sell all of these guys. Let me just make the Minneapolis, which is gonna be really important, especially for this boss event. Like, I usually don't go through all of this, but I think we have to do it for this one. So let's get the village and let's upgrade everything. And yeah, let's sell these guys. Let's make the Minneapolis. And I think, what are we doing? I think we're just gonna buy a couple of 0, 2, 3 farms before we reach the tier 1. So yeah, let me just buy a couple of these guys, and I'm gonna see you guys in a second. All right, so round 39 is about to end. I've been just keeping up with these 0, 2, 3 Kardashian farms, and then I have a 104 alchemist here at the start just to make a little bit of extra cash. So you know what we're gonna do, because this boss HP is at 70%, I don't think that we actually need to, you know, go that hard with the defending. All right, so I know I've been pushing this a little bit, so we got 6 marketplaces, and now let's finally get this guy. Can I have him in the range of the discount, but at the same time I want to have an alchemist, which is only going to be buffing him? Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work. And also we're leaking account balloons, so let's get this guy to a sharpshooter first, actually get some extra. Oh, that's kind of close. 32 lives remaining. All right, so let's go for a 202, 203 eventually, and I think just the 204 sniper is actually going to be fine. There we go. We can do a couple of things. So first off, we can get the jungle drums village, and actually we should probably be placing like a dark monkey far here onto the I'm gonna place it here in the top corner, just so we get one of the meteors actually going into it. And actually, you know what, I'm gonna place one dark monkey like this, and now we're gonna trigger a skull, and it's gonna target this one. So this dark monkey is actually gonna be unharmed. This is really important because this guy is our cam detection. Let's also buy something like a 420 alchemist for this guy, and it should be enough, right? Like just the 204 sniper, because the boss HP, he's at like 70%, right? With this shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. Oh, wait a minute, why is the trap being deployed over here? Wait, is this guy like magically outside of the range? Oh no, never mind. You know what happened actually? Oh, okay, so dread balloon reduces the range of all your towers, so that's why the trap is being dropped like this. Okay, so let's make sure that this guy is not strong then. Oh, wait a minute, this trap is not gonna do as much work as I thought it was gonna, at least not until Blastapopoulos gets popped. Alright, well that sucks, but you know what, might as well start, you know, going for the 420 farms, because I think this is eventually what we're gonna be going for. Maybe we can buy the Monkeyopolis, the full one, by sacrificing a bunch of farms, but for now let's just start with the 420 farm. Let's just make sure we get an overclock for this guy. Going kind of slow, not gonna lie. Round 52, about to start 53. Yeah, this is not the fastest. Oh, let's just move the sniper to first. We are gonna leak a little. Oh, never mind, we're not gonna leak anything, but yeah, that was kind of close. And here comes the pop. Okay, so round 53, that was a late pop, but the farming is doing well. I have 2 overclocks actually. The first one that I bought at the start, and the second one I bought for the other BRF. So let's make sure we hook this guy up as well. Let's get him a tech bot, and that is pretty much it for these early tiers. So that was kind of, I think, the Ninja Kiwi gift that we got for the tier 1, because we didn't need to buy the elite defender. So essentially we saved a bunch of money, which is gonna allow us to get our farming jump started at least earlier stages of the game. It's gonna be annoying for the later stages for sure, but let's make sure we sell the sniper. Let's sell the alchemist. Just put all of this money into farming. Let me just buy a couple of overclocks, and I'm gonna see you guys in a second. All right, beautiful. Look at this thing. So 5 farms under range of the Minneapolis, all of them overclocked. This is efficiency through the roof. I just wish we had the banana essential, because we have been doing so well, but this is fine the way it is. We're making a lot of money, and actually tier 2 is gonna get a little bit annoying, I'm pretty sure, and that's because we're gonna have to use the avatar of of Wrath. In comes the boss, and then eventually when we get the money, 45,000, we should be buying Blastapopoulos. I think I should also be getting something like, I don't know, something like a damage amplifier, maybe like an ice wouldn't be too bad, especially maybe it's gonna cool it down a little bit, even though like these ice towers, they don't do anything versus the boss, well, at least they don't do anything to cool it down is what I'm saying. But look at this thing. So the heat bar is already up. That's because we're attacking with a million projectiles, but it's completely fine because I guess you guys probably know by this point, but I actually tested this and it doesn't really matter if you keep proccing the heat scope because it's gonna do that. It's gonna overheat, and then when the overheat is up, it's just gonna go down by itself, and you can even still attack it while it's overheating, which is just insane. And look at this thing. So we proc the skull, and this thing is chilling by itself. We're not doing anything, and boom, we're just starting from, I guess, from zero. All right, so the avatars are gonna do their job, so that means that we can only focus on farming. So I'm just gonna be buying a bunch of BRS here on the side, but these guys are not gonna be overclocked because I don't want to be spending that many tech bots, and also it's getting a little bit annoying, right? I mean, I guess the efficiency play is gonna be that you buy a bunch of 420 farms, and then you make sure that you get an overclock for a single one of them, and then maybe you turn that into like the NG Paragon or something like that if you're like an NG Paragon enthusiast after the new changes. But now we're just gonna chill. I think that we have more than enough damage. Let me actually sell this Dark Monkey. Let's get some damage amplification, just something like a 420 embrittlement. Let's just, I think having the 420 embrittlement chill this guy is like someone blowing you in the face while you're sitting on the sun or something like that. So it's really not gonna work, but hey, it's just gonna get there for like +1 damage, so it's fine. You know, as much as Blastapopoulos should be a counter to this avatar Wrath strategy because you want to have all of these avatars clumped together and it reduces their range, right? So they cannot buff themselves, and also because you have them clumped up together, when the meteor hits, it's gonna stun all of them. You would think that that's gonna be a hard counter, but no, these guys, they absolutely melted. Look at what's happening. And there it is. There goes the tier 2. So not a difficult pop. Actually, this was a lot faster than the first one. Round 66. So we only took, I would say it's not 6 rounds because we didn't exactly buy the avatar of Rat at the start of the tier 2, but it was super fast. And yeah, we dealt with this one. So I guess we can just sell a bunch of these towers. Let's just sell the embrittlement, all of these druids, and then we have $100,000. So that means that we have to put all of this money to work really fast. So yeah, let's make sure we fix our farming before we go on to the next one. All right, so huge mess on screen, but here comes the tier 3, and here's the plan for it. We can just buy the wait a minute, why can I not? Oh, I didn't have the ultra journal. I was worried for a second. I was like, wait a minute, the Apex Plasma Master wasn't banned on this one. It was banned on the normal one, but not on the elite one. But yeah, let's get this guy going. So I bought all the sacrificial towers, so this is gonna be a degree 35 on this guy. That's a huge degree, which is just gonna melt Blastapopoulos. So yeah, there we go. And while everything is happening, I also bought the sub commander, and I got the preemptive strike. This is for one reason, so they can only, you know, get a little bit of pops until we go for the sub paragon later on, which is I think what Ninja Kiwi wanted of us, right? And actually, look at this. This is the coolest thing ever. So Blastapopoulos surrounds himself with rocks, but these rocks serve as obstacles. So look at what the Dark Paragon is actually doing to Blastapopoulos. It's insane. So these rocks, they actually keep the balls inside, and they just do so much damage to Blastapopoulos. Just look at the HP go. This thing is just, it's worse on every skull because the rocks from the previous skull remain on the field, and then new ones get spawned. And it's just like this thing is getting melted so fast. It's round 82, and this thing is gonna pop right before even this one ends, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that was the last skull, and this is like a Blastapopoulos in 2 rounds. That's absolutely insane. It just goes to show how good the Dark Paragon is versus this boss, because the boss kind of, you know, works against itself in a way. But yeah, that was a tier 3. So we have a lot of empty room here on the left side. I'm going to use this space to place a couple more farms, and then the next Paragon is going to be the sub Paragon. So yeah, let's make sure we get us some pops for this guy, and I'm going to place a couple of farms, and I'm going to see you guys to the tier 4. Actually, before we move on to the sub Paragon, I have an idea. We know that the NG Paragon really sucks versus Blastapopoulos for a couple of reasons. Reason number 1 is that 2 of its 3 sentries have the plasma attack, so they don't do anything. They actually fill up the heat bar really fast, and also you rely a lot onto these sentry abilities that you get right with the master builder, which well, Blastapopoulos increases the cooldowns that you have. So yeah, it's not exactly that good, but I was like, wait a minute, why don't we just try it anyways? And maybe do we play like without the sentries, or maybe we can place the sentries, or we can just have them aim at the small balloons. I don't know, let's just give this thing a shot. The NG Paragon just got a really nice buff, so it overclocks itself really fast. So before we reach the tier 5, the NG Paragon is actually gonna become really powerful. It's gonna be maxed out. So I'm gonna place the green sentry like this, and I'm actually gonna, well, hopefully when the fire goes out, yeah, let's have the green sentry, like maybe we should have it towards the back a little bit, but yeah, let's make sure it doesn't attack Blastapopoulos because it's gonna fill the heat bar super fast, I think. Or is it? Let's actually test that. Let's actually have the green sentry like this. I don't think this is filling the bar that fast, but at the same time, it's not doing any damage to it. So yeah, might as well, you know, have it like this. Locked at the start. Yeah, this is a little bit slower than the previous ones because, well, it's the Dark Paragon, but it's only a degree 35. And I say only a 35 because, well, this is the tier 4, and then the NG is not exactly doing that much damage. Yeah, so the Dart is carrying, actually. The Dart entered this battle with like 2.5 million pops, I think. So the majority of the damage onto the small balloons, and actually the boss has been done from the Dart. start and not the NG. But, you know, it just goes to show how bad the NG Paragon is versus Blastapopoulos and how big of a counter Blastapopoulos is to the NG Paragon in general. But you know what? The blue sentry, okay, so the blue sentry does not actually get countered by Blastapopoulos. So I'm going to set this guy to strong and look at the pop strike I'm under this, guys. He's doing about 1,000 damage a pop, which is, I guess, not too much, but it's nice because this is the only one that doesn't get countered. So yeah, let's just make sure we have that one. And I know it's going kind of slow, but it is somehow going forward. So do the explosions do anything, by the way? Let's just check. No, they don't. All right, so the explosions don't do anything from the sentries as well, so might as well have the green sentry just keep on doing the same thing that it's been doing. Let's just have it attack at the front. And yeah, we are gonna take this guy down. So it's round 109, but we only have 2 skulls left, so this is gonna be a slow one. But the next one is, well, it's gonna be a full DPS one because I'm gonna get a super high degree onto the sub Paragon, and then we're gonna try and get the Navark as well. So yeah, that should be fun. Okay, so let's actually work towards that. Can I find a spot for the last sub, actually the Energizer, which is gonna go like this? There we go. There goes the tier 4. So that was kind of slower, at least slower than tier 3, slower than actually the previous one as well, but we got the job done. And let's get ready for the tier 5. So I want to do a couple of things with the tier 5. So first off, I'm going to get a favorite traits boat, and I'm actually going to pick up this guy with a helicopter, and I'm going to make the helicopter so we get a bunch more cash by selling all these farms when the time comes. Alright, so round 119, let's make sure we pick up the favorite traits boat with the heli. Let me just have this thing follow mouse, and let's start selling all of these farms. So let's see how much money we're going to end up with when we're done selling. And this is going to be the last farm. Let's also make sure we sell the heli itself, and there it is. All right, so 3.1 million. This is actually really good. So let's make sure we get this guy first so we can free up some space around the mermonkey. So 1.2 million max, and then with the extra pops is degree 58, I think I saw. Yes, there we go. It's a 58. Not too much, but I guess it's not going to be too bad. And then does the mermonkey have enough range for us to fit all 3 of these boats is my question. So there goes boat number 1. This is going to be boat number 2, and then yes, boat number 3. All right, so let's go like this. Let's what's the one that we're missing? We're missing the Navar, sorry, the Trade Empire. Let's get this guy like this, and then save a little bit of cash for the damage amplifier. So about 100k is usually what I leave off. That's kind of close to 100k. That's gonna be fine. So what's the rate that we're gonna get on this guy? Let's see. It's gonna be 36. Not too much, but also not too bad, I guess. Let's make sure we get this guy, the super bill, and then the cripple mob. Let's have it on the platform as well. Go like this, set him on strong, and bam, there it is, guys. All right, that's the setup. Now we do have the engine Paragon, which you cannot see actually because it's below the Navark, but I want to click it. Yeah, there we go. So this guy is fully, well, almost fully actually. He's gonna be fully overclocked in a couple of rounds from now. So let's actually see if it's gonna do any significant amount of damage. So starting with 5.4 million, 5.5 million, and let's see by the end of this how many pops this thing is gonna have. We're kind of doing a setup, but this setup is, well, not what you would usually do. And also look at this thing. So these rocks, they do block the sight of a lot of our towers. So the engine cannot attack. Well, the engine's it kind of sucks in general, but the Navark main guns cannot attack. The sub Paragon cannot attack. The dart is kind of weak now because it's the tier 5, and then the NG obviously doesn't do anything. So yeah, this might be an excruciating battle, especially versus, you know, versus a boss like Blastapopoulos, but we do have this thing, I'm pretty sure. All right, so this is call number 3, and actually a very good thing about the Blastapopoulos boss fight is that you don't need to do that much, and even if you wanted to, you can't do that much as well with in regards to abilities and stuff like that, because Blastapopoulos extends your ability cooldowns and just puts things on cooldown, so you're just never gonna get to use them anyways. So you might as well, you know, just buy as much damage as you can, just watch your towers go to town. It is kind of a painful and slow-ish fight, and I guess the most amount of damage is being done by this guy, the sub Paragon, right? So he's at 5.5 million damage, and we've done about 12 million damage so far. We're about halfway there. So yeah, the sub Paragon is definitely carrying, but let me just check the NG as well. The NG is at 8.3. All right, so the NG did about 3 million damage. I'm not actually, you know, that although keep in mind, you know, a bunch of this damage is being done from this green sentry here at this. Oh my god, it's at 1.3 million. All right, how's the Navark doing? About 5 million with the Navark. Let me just check the sub. So 7 million with the sub. So yeah, that's pretty much the distribution that you would expect, especially with these degrees, right? Because it's only 36 on the Navark. All right, so as the boss is about to pop, I am really curious about the pops onto one specific tower, is the NG Paragon. Well, we're gonna check all of them just to see who did the most, but I just want to see the NG and how it does versus Blastapopoulos in general. So there goes the tier 5. Let's just see what instant did we get, because I am kind of trying to collect the gold borders for these guys, but not too much. Okay, I think I have the ice tower as gold border, but that's fine. Let's just check the pops now. Okay, so about 10 million onto the sub out of 24 million. That's pretty much, I guess you could call it this tower carry, right? Out 8 point, oh, this guy's kind of close, 8.6 on the Navark, and then let me just click the NG, 12 million, but we started with 5.4. So yeah, the NG, but a lot of the damage that the NG did was actually through these sentries and onto the small balloons. So the NG didn't even do that bad, given the fact that it's fully overclocked itself, right? Dart sitting at 12.4, but again, the Dart was here on the field since tier 3, so not that much representative. But yeah, there it is. All right, so that was the latest Elite Blastapopoulos. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.